No, I do not like doing videos so new. But because of the importance of this, because I'm kind of in this space, I want to watch this and I want to react to it on stream. So I'm kind of breaking one of my rules here, but it's for a very good reason because this is important shit. So let's take a look at this because I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but I know Taiga is in a really bad spot. So let's check this out.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be returning to the ongoing Taiga situation because one of the parties involved, Nux Taku, has made
Is
several
he?
recent responses that I think are worth checking out. Now, in a nutshell,
Uh,
what's going on here?
yeah,
Well, to remind you, Taiga is a femboy VTuber who is
yeah. I mean, Nux is from what I've been hearing, Nux is going a little crazy. I've watched a couple of Nux's videos. I know he responded to that one artist, the PDF artist. Um, cause he like about like Nux taught that Nux had talked to him or something. Um, I have not really watched watched very much of Nux. Um, but I've been hearing that he's kind of he's I baby Jesus, I think it was like he apologized. Try to remember this correctly. It's something like he apologized privately, he didn't apologize publicly? I think? Um right, okay, never removed the videos with the accusations. Okay. So yeah, so he's jumping into the political sphere. Not a great look. That's why I stay out of the political sphere. Okay, well, let's see what's happened here.
was recently removed on several social media platforms, including YouTube and Twitter, and a lot of people attribute this to the harassers and stalkers that they've been dealing with for many years, making false reports. And if you want a more detailed breakdown of the timeline and everything going on, you can check out my video from a few days ago. I'll put a link to it in the description. But to sum up, what I talked about, at least partially in that video, was Nux Taku, who obviously is a very popular content creator, had made some very inflammatory statements about Taiga in a video he released about 2 years ago. It was a collab with Moy.
Right, and I think I saw the clip of this where he's showing Charlie VTuber drama, and Charlie's like, "What's going on with this?" And Nux said something like, "Uh, Nux said like, I don't really know about it, but he's been accused of being a PDF, and kind of was kind of basically sticking an opinion in there when he's claiming he didn't know anything about it. And bearing in mind, Taiga has evidence to prove that he was completely innocent of all the false accusations. So, and this proof has been completely ignored. So, I mean, it's a horrible situation. And it kind of makes me feel nervous because, and I'll explain why in a bit.
Critical, where they were talking about VTuber drama, and when asked who Taiga is, Nux would reply by saying he is a predator. Now, of course, that had a big impact because there's 350,000 views on that video, and Nux would pin a comment a few months later trying.
Okay, let's see. Hey all, I edited out the Bueno Taiga segment. Although I state in the video itself a disclaimer that I do not know the full story and do not take what I say too seriously, I would still rather not be a cause for something Reb is unfortunately blocked. Reb's hair's blocking it. Misinformation floating around now that new information is revealed. I mean, so he actually flat out called Taiga a pedo and a groomer. I'm guessing not in the Charlie video. I'm guessing when he called Taiga a PDF and a groomer, he was not in the Charlie video. It was probably in a. I'm guessing it was in a different video. And Rygot, I know a lot of people have said defamation suit, defamation suit, defamation suit. The problem is those things are expensive. To hire a lawyer for a suit like that is very expensive. It wasn't a Charlie video? Okay. It wasn't a Charlie video. Yeah, I mean, hiring a lawyer is very expensive, especially if the content creator in question that you're trying to sue for defamation is like in another country. something like that is incredibly expensive. And so only if you're rich can you actually, get a defamation suit. So, yeah.
Trying to address the situation and also saying that there is a private investigator looking at the situation with Taiga and the
Oh, yeah, I'm
allegations
sure he
that they
ripped
were
on
facing
Dr.
at the time.
Disrespect.
And a few months after that, there would be a private investigator and they would conclude their investigation by saying that Taiga was exonerated, that they did not do the things that they were accused of by some people who turned out to be actually Taiga's harassers and stalkers who were making false allegations. Now, the only response we would get beyond that point was a small statement made in a podcast 6 months ago on the Some Ordinary podcast, where about 20 minutes into that podcast, Nux would somewhat address what happened with Taiga and also at the same time say things like he had an issue because he liked little boys and all these things, and it still made Taiga look pretty bad, and there wasn't a real, genuine apology.
So he apologized, but not really. Well, yeah, boys, that's another thing. Taiga just spent like probably a couple $1,000s purchasing a new model just before all this happened, and now he's got no way to promote it. Like, he's got this new model, he's paid for this new model, and now when he goes live with it, he has no way to promote it. It's just, wow.
Apology or an attempt to take accountability for his role in spreading misinformation about Taiga. And I ended my previous video by talking about what Nux is currently facing, which is some people trying to make allegations based on some responses and DMs and replies he had.
Yeah, so this is, I remember seeing the video that he did about this, about Shadman DMing him, about stuff, like I saw him, uh, uh, talk about this. I honestly, like, I didn't even know anything about the Shadman thing, so I didn't pay much attention to it. But this thing I know about, like, he had, like, Shadman, I think, DM'd him a couple times out of the blue, and he responded with, like, okay, yeah, whatever. And that was it. That's the only thing I know about Nux with Shadman.
Had with Shadman, and a lot of people are looking at this response right here where he was asking Shadman to collab, and he said that apparently he was doing this so he could expose and clown on Shadman.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I believe a lot of these things involving Shadman right now are a
Shadman, I think he did. Let's see, people are saying I'm a liar because of these tweets. Aside from not knowing about the extent of his shit, then I collab with all sorts of scum. Most of my collabs are trolling, and I was gonna grill him. I interview EDP. I've never commissioned, promoted, been friends with them. I'll probably talk about this more in depth on stream when I'm back from vacation and give up trying to make sense on this app. Blah blah blah. So, hi Corey. Oh, Corey, we watched your video. Very satisfying. Hang on. Eee. Sorry. I had Spidey crawling up my monitor. Had to kill. So, yeah, I know about Nux with the Shadman thing. He's claiming that his collab he was gonna grill him. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
reach where they're trying to see anyone who interacted with him and they make these allegations based on that. And I think it's a witch hunt and Nux is caught up in it. But the reason I pointed that out is because he said he was on vacation and taking a break from parts of the internet, in particular Twitter. And I took his word for it, but I didn't realize that during that time he was active on Kick. He had streamed nearly every single day when he said he was taking a break and he was going on this vacation. And during
So is he planning on moving away from Twitch? Is he trying to work out a deal with Kick? Ah, interesting. So he's saying he's on vacation, probably to try and get people to stop harassing him, but then he's streaming on Kick. Yeah, but how long has he been on Kick? That's my question. Has he been on Kick for very long? Because, I don't know. Hey, you watch Nux's reaction watch Taiga's reaction. Not just, oh, really? He had a reaction to it? Ho-ho.
Two of those streams, he would talk about the Taiga situation and he would give more thoughts on it. And honestly, a lot of it is really doubling down and making some smoke screens here. And I'm going to focus on this right here. This was from the most previous mention he made on Kick about Taiga. He actually re-uploaded this VOD onto YouTube a few days ago on his alt channel, Nuxanor. And you can see, if you check it out yourself, he talks about Taiga about 48 minutes into this stream. And again, just like with the Some Ordinary podcast episode, it has nothing to do with Taiga. It's about a Mr. Beast video that he's reacting to. But what did he say during that video? Well, let's play this clip right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got a comment there. Let me show you. This is a wild one.
Can you guys hear Nux? I know it sounded like the volume just dropped significantly. Are you able to hear the video within a video happening here, or do you need me to up the volume a little bit? Because I can probably crank up the volume a little bit more if you guys need to. Okay. Let me know if this is too quiet. It's a bit low? Okay, I will up the volume a little bit more.
Alright. Like, funny seeing someone talking about something being bullshit while also being the person who deplatformed and destroyed someone's life over false allegations with no evidence and doing zero research. Right, this is obviously talking about Bungo Taiga. I up with the Bungo Taiga thing. I am sorry for it, and I have apologized multiple times in private, in public, on my podcast. I have apologized multiple times because I said that I don't know the full story, but he's a pedophile instead of an alleged pedophile after he left the internet for like 5 months. Then he came back. Okay? I made...
Wait. I want to hear that again. I want to hear that when he just said they're... He's talking so goddamn fast. And when people talk that fast, there's... Okay.
An alleged pedophile at times because I said that I don't know the full story, but he's a pedophile instead of an alleged pedophile after he left the internet for like 5 months. Then he came back. Okay? I made a mistake. This was 2 years ago. And I took accountability for it multiple times. But for some reason, this guy, I know I'm going after one commenter, but I've gotten like thousands of comments about this. Like, you think I deplatformed him? People are blaming me for deplatforming him? He got banned for sexual content. But you're blaming me for deplatforming him? Destroyed his life? You think I destroyed...
Okay, so, from what I understand, yes, Taiga got deplatformed for sexual content, but the allegations of this sexual content were false. And Nux was not the one to make them. Nux was not the one to make these reports. This was, like, I think his stalker that were making allegations to every platform save Twitch, saying that, you know, he was stating, like, banned for nudity, but they were false reports. What Nux did not deplatform Taiga. That Nux did not have anything to deplatform. That's true. That blame can be placed strictly on the false reporters. But what Nux said didn't help. It probably didn't help his case. And that, I think, is what people are pissed about. Nux should not be blamed for the deplatforming. Absolutely not. Nux did not have anything to do with it. The blame on the deplatforming, and I think this is where people are starting to lose focus. People are losing focus on this. We're kind of seeing it with the Rev video. The blame for the deplatforming needs to be on the false reporter. The false reporter is the one that deplatformed Taiga. That's where the blame needs to be. And what needs to be happening is anybody who wants to help Taiga needs to be adding all of these platforms, these various platforms that Taiga got kicked off of, and saying the reports were false, that you had the evidence that the reports were false, you need to reinstate Taiga's account. At YouTube, at Twitter, at TikTok, you know, we're at Instagram. That's what needs to be done. Yes, Nux did not help matters. He didn't. He made allegation type claims when he was saying he didn't know anything about it. That didn't help. But he's not responsible for the deplatforming. People can be mad for, like you said, kicking him while he's down, but not for going after him for deplatforming. That is, I will say, in the interest of fairness, that's wrong. To accuse Nux of being a cause of Taiga's deplatforming. That is 100% wrong to think that way.
His life when the video where I talked about apologizing for it has more views than the video where I originally mentioned it, like as a throwaway sentence over false allegations. I didn't make any allegations. I said what someone else said, and I was wrong to do that. But like, there are so many comments like this everywhere. Like, you can never trust YouTube comments.
I saw that.
So to clarify, in his first stream where he
that.
talked about Taiga recently, he spent about 15 minutes talking about it, but that clip right there from the next stream is a better summation of what he was generally saying. And I want to start by noticing the way he is trying to reframe the issue. He is trying to use this one comment with 0 likes and say that all the people who are mad at him right now are claiming that he is personally responsible for deplatforming Taiga, which is a big reach and something people like me don't agree with. You're not the sole reason he was deplatformed. You didn't tell people to go report him. You didn't do any of that. The reason people have an issue with you has to do with accountability on this situation involving Taiga. You have not...
Okay, now, Taiga said he's apologized both privately and publicly. I have not seen Nux's public apology. So, for anyone that may have seen his public apology that he made on his main channel, was it, with you guys having viewed it, would you have considered it a decent retraction or apology from Nux? I haven't watched it, so I'm not going to postulate on whether or not it was a good apology or not. Most were apparently in Discord. Okay. And so, Shadow, you say no, it's not. It did not make for a good apology. Okay. So, my suspicion is that's another reason why people are pissed, is that his quote-unquote apology fell very short of the mark of what an apology is. That would be my guess why people may be pissed still at Nux, is he may have made an apology, but that apology fell very short. So...
not taken proper accountability. The issue here is that you contributed to the hostility being directed towards Taiga. You try to claim that you didn't in any way harm Taiga's life. You are not solely responsible for ruining Taiga's life. That's an exaggeration. But I think you did harm Taiga. And I think you contributed this by calling him a predator on a video that before you even made the pinned comment,
Ordinary Gamer
already
podcast.
had hundreds of thousands of views. That clearly contributed to the harassment campaign that Taiga's been facing for years now over these false allegations. You have to acknowledge your role here. Now, another thing that Nux does in this video is talk about how the views on the quote-unquote apology video are higher than the initial video where he made the slanderous statements about Taiga, which is already a very weird point, but with a quick search, you can see that the original VTuber drama video and the Somewhere in a Podcast episode, they're within 1,000 views of each other. He harps on this point over.
And I'll also point out, he's talking about his apology one had more views than I mean, it's also 2 different fucking channels. You want to personally apologize, but did he have to help undo the stain? But I don't know. It's also 2 channels. This one is his own channel where he talks to Charlie, and this one is on Somewhere Near Gamers, So it's also two different channels, which means you're also dealing with two different audiences. The people that watch his own channel may or may not watch Some Ordinary Gamers, because I would imagine a lot of people that watch Some Ordinary Gamers watch it for Mudahar, not for Nux. So it's also two different audiences. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, you can't compare that.
And over again, trying to show this as somehow something that's in his favor because that has less views than the quote-unquote apology video when they're very close. And on top of that, why does it matter so much? Like, does that somehow relieve you of any wrongdoing in the situation? You still slandered him in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Don't you get?
How to, Steve? This is about basically what Nux had been Nux's quote-unquote apology to Taiga for the for he didn't actually make the claim of this, but he made it, he was talking about something that he didn't know about in regards to Taiga and accusations of Taiga being PDF, and he was commentating on it when he didn't actually have knowledge about it, and people are pissed because it was adding fuel to the fire of Taiga's already just career spiraling, spiraling to the ground because of all the attacks that have been made against Taiga, and he's been deplatformed.
Why this was an issue, and overall he's using things like this as a shield, and a lot of people are mad that you're not taking full accountability. You're saying sorry, but you're not really doing much to fix what you said.
Yeah.
In fact, going back to the pinned comment, this was made 2 months.
Like, what? Like, if Nux really wanted to apologize, maybe he should be contacting his YouTube rep, because Nux has got a big channel. He's got 2 fucking million subscribers on one channel alone. I'm sure he has a YouTube rep that he can make contact with. Why is that, Nux could have contacted his YouTube rep and said, listen, Taiga's getting railroaded here and being deplatformed like this. Can you please have someone look into this? They should not be getting deplatformed. They have not done anything wrong. I bet you if Nux had done something like that, people might have been, people might not be so pissed. If Nux, realized he fucked up. No, big dog, I know it doesn't help. Trust me, yeah. I mean, Henry Genie, prime example. But if he'd made an effort, this is more like, it may not have fixed the problem, but if he showed he was making an effort in realizing, hey, I was wrong, and making an effort to try and help Taiga fix the problem, exactly, Road. It would be better than nothing. It would show the people that are currently pissed at him, hey, at least he's trying to do something right by Taiga and try and address the problem. Not even just strictly PR purposes. Actually try. Actually contact his YouTube rep and say, hey, can you look into this? Taiga's being railroaded. Can you look into this? Something. Something more than just, private Discord apologies and a kind of apology on Some Ordinary Games. Something. That might have appeased some people. Well, how'd you see? That's why I wanted to watch this, because I'm going to talk about that after the video.
After the video was released. At that point, the majority of the views have already been collected, so at least a couple 100,000 people were exposed to these slanderous statements. And this is the internet, and Nux knows this too. People will hear a comment like that once, and they just believe it at face value, and now they mistreat and harass or even disassociate with someone over something someone said. They just believe it at face value. So it definitely did have a very big impact, and this pinned comment didn't do much to take accountability. It didn't help fix the situation. You have a video with 350,000 views, but then a pinned comment with 170 likes. That pinned comment was made 2 years ago, and it's amassed 170 likes.
It's two. Okay, so it's 1 year. So he edited it a year ago. But this. Wait, no, the video only came out a year ago. Rev, I think you might have had a dyslexic moment here. He's saying 2 years. But okay.
And I've also heard, as you can see right here, the pinned comment is edited. And as some people have claimed, this was unpinned temporarily. Now, I don't know if this is true right now, but I know it was true back in 2022 when this was made. If you would edit a pinned comment on your YouTube video.
Wait, this was made back in 2022? What? This was this like a re-upload? So is this like so this is a re-upload a year ago with the edit. Okay. Okay, that's what it is. It's a re-upload. All right. Red, I'm sorry. Okay, that's okay. Now that's starting to make sense.
Video, it would unpin.
How'd you, Steve? Here's the thing when it comes to followers on YouTube. People will follow a channel and then forget they follow it. But they won't unfollow it. They'll just forget that they're even following it. They'll follow it, watch it for a little bit, and then go, okay, I'm bored, and move on. And they forget to unfollow. So they continue to remain as a quote-unquote follower. So that's one reason why followers are a core metric of a content creator's success. Followers and likes are a poor metric of how successful a content creator is. Because both of them are somewhat ambiguous in nature. If you really want to know how successful a content creator is, look at the views. Look at the views. Because unlike on Twitch, subscriptions on YouTube are free. Subs on YouTube are free. So you cannot count, with, he's got 2.17 million subscribers. It's inconsequential. How many of those subscribers do not even watch his content anymore? But they just haven't bothered to unsub from him. It happens all the time.
The comment. And that happened to me. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. It happened to me a couple times before I realized what was happening. And Taiga claims that this comment, after he edited it, was unpinned for quite some time, which of course would kind of make sense because there's so few likes on this video. And I mentioned that not to accuse Nux of anything. I'm not saying he maliciously did that. It might have been an honest mistake, and it probably was. But it just shows that the signal boost of this initial attempt here was pretty weak. I mean, really, who's seen this? Not many people over the course of 2 years. And on top of that, he really harkens on the fact that he made an apology already. This was...
Yeah, Steve. Sometimes the tracking can be a wee bit off. Sometimes we'll do delivery, like now. But sometimes, like, if my head is turned a certain way, the tracking kind of doesn't grab my eyes properly, and so then my eyeballs start going like all wacky like this, which I'm actually doing right now with my eyes. But my eyes will sometimes go wacky if I turn my head, like if I'm looking down at my cat because my cat's trying to chew my cables or something. It was tracking on one of the eyes and it goes a little wacky.
6 months ago on the Some Ordinary podcast. Again, it's not an official standalone apology. It is something buried 20 minutes into
you weren't here yesterday.
That's about totally different topics. And on top of that, this recent one was uploaded on Kick, arguably his smallest platform. And these were points that were raised by Taiga himself. And you can see there's a fan page here, and he would react in much more depth than what I am today. A very close reaction to everything that Nux said during his Kick streams.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were here yesterday? I don't remember, so I'm sorry. Noros, thank you. Well, how'd you, Steve? Were you here when I did the react to someone that had a completely horrible take about the Deadpool movie? I was not chill for that.
I'll put a link to this in the description, but I want to let Taiga speak on another point that Nux keeps raising, and it's the fact that he believes
Okay.
that his private
I
apology
kind of
should
raged.
be enough.
I kind of raged
He
on that
thinks
one.
he's already done so much. He did his public apology, and then he did a private apology to Taiga, and that somehow is the end of it. Well,
No,
again,
yard
just like
dog, I
anything
didn't.
else,
I'll explain
it
why.
doesn't really feel satisfactory when you're dealing with a public accusation and largely a private apology in response.
Apparently Bungo Taiga on his streams for like the last year has been saying that I never apologized for wronging him, and
You guys have watched my past streams, right? So that's lie number one.
I don't know, this guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that
Let me be clear. Let me check exactly what he said. So yeah, he
Receipt
said, "Hey
time!
man, I saw some clips of your stream floating around. You asked me to reach out, so here I am. To be frank, I saw a lot of leaked DMs and stuff months ago about you, so I'm hesitant to give you the benefit of the doubt. But that said, I don't want to spread misinformation about you either, despite my disclaimers. I apologize if that's what I ended up doing. I apologize if that's what I ended up doing." And then I said, you know, you saw some leaked DMs of me grooming someone? Because, like, where's that? And then blah, blah, blah. I say a bunch of shit. And then he's like, this guy sounds like bad news. And I'm sorry you and others had to deal with him. The guy is saying sounds like bad news is literally my stalker who he said I groomed. Who he said I groomed. The stalker who he said I groomed. I never said he didn't apologize. I explicitly gave the method to which he did apologize, which was a private apology in DMs. The problem with that, Nux, okay? The problem with that is that you slandered me to over 200. Well, I think the video has over 350,000 views now. 350,000 people plus Moist Critical, right? So that's lie number one. Obviously, I never said you didn't apologize. I don't know.
How'd you see? Taiga's actually, a guy. Taiga is a femboy. It's a femboy VTuber. So, in this case, it's okay to say he. And, I mean, the few clips that I've seen, Taiga does seem pretty chill. Although, I will admit, a lot of the clips I've seen lately have been, unfortunately, about the bad news about being deplatformed, so he seems really depressed, which is completely understandable, and I feel horrible for him. Diabetes, thank you for the tier 1. Well, Baby Janus, I mean, he is a femboy, so makes total sense. Wait, what? Oh, me! I see. I have a chill voice and seem nice. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that.
Like, where are you getting this from? Every single video, I literally outline the method on which you apologize and how it was lackluster for the damage you've caused me.
To reiterate what Taiga is saying, they acknowledge that Nux has made attempts to apologize. In fact, the supposed apologies are a part of the timeline of events that help explain all the damage that has been caused. They are not saying you didn't apologize. They're saying you never took real accountability. Your apologies were not done very well. Now, there's some other things I want to talk about in terms of the comments he made on Kick really quickly. So there are multiple instances where Nux would just make instantly disprovable lies. Okay, at one point he talked about the investigator. He claimed that Taiga hired the investigator to exonerate them, basically saying they hired someone to work in their defense. When that's not the case, you can read it in the first few lines of the Google Doc. This was an independent investigator who had nothing to do with Taiga. They saw the situation and wanted to look into it for themselves. In fact, they admit...
Steve, it's one of two ways. Either they go through voice training. That is a very common thing with femboys. They might go through voice training, or they may go with a voice changer. So either or. A lot of femboys will simply go through just voice training. Feminine voice training. I remember Fitster did some female voice training, and when he demonstrated it on stream, it made a significant change. Ha ha, Steve. No, I'm an anime cat girl. Nay, you can't see it because my model doesn't have the stick up a tongue feature, but I'm sticking my tongue out at you. Yes, correct, Ryder. Some are talented enough to voice act, or some use software, or some actually go through actual voice training and do the work to give themselves a higher and softer pitch. Like I said, Finster did some of it, and the very few examples that he did, it was a softer, slightly higher pitched feminine voice. Now, it embarrassed the hell out of him, and he's never really done it, but it can be done. If if you've seen, I've seen a couple other family streamers on Twitch, and it's simply just, it's softening and pitching up your voice, but it's also practice. I'm reasonably sure a lot of the femboys practice this. They and they do it over and over again. And some can get away with it, some cannot. So yeah, so Wildfire, I mean, going on the assumption with your statement, I'm guessing you are not female. So some can attain that natural, soft, feminine voice. That no, Morris, I'm not doing a Nico Ni. I don't. I think if I tried to pitch that hard, I think if I tried to pitch my voice that high, the audio would crap out of me. And Steve, VTuber models have a range. Um, they can go from a couple $100 to a couple $1,000, and I'm reasonably sure, based on what Taiga was saying, Taiga probably spent a couple $1,000, on the new model. That would be my guess. But a good VTuber model is usually a couple grand.
That they went into the situation as an investigator, initially thinking that Taiga was guilty, but after looking at the evidence, they changed their analysis and exonerated Taiga. In fact, I've heard this claim from other people who have looked into this. There's a YouTuber by the name of Royalty who made a pretty good video or set of videos on the situation, and even they said they went into their research with Taiga under the assumption that they were guilty of the things they were accused of, and then after looking at the evidence, they changed their mind and said, hey, there's a lot of things here that don't add up, and there's a lot of false allegations.
Do not make me bonk.
And Taiga is not the monster that people are trying to make him out to be.
Yes, Bragat, you're right. VTuber models can also be free. Case in point. My VTuber model is free. This is a free model. I did not pay for my model. This is free. And I want to say Shy Lily said she paid, this is a while ago that I heard this, I think it was 10 or 12,000 that she paid for her mom.
To be. But again, instantly disprovable lie. And another one is that Nux claims that Taiga took a 5-month break around the time these allegations first came out, which again, instantly disprovable. You can see that Taiga was streaming during this time. And on top of that, it's just a weird thing to say because Nux tried to claim that break made Taiga look
Steve,
guilty.
No,
like
I
they
am
had
not.
something to hide. That's why they left the internet.
I do not know Shy
The
Lily
irony of
at
that
all.
is
She
crazy
doesn't know I
because
exist.
right now, Nux is taking a break on Twitter while also facing crazy allegations from people on Twitter. So does that mean you're guilty of what people are trying to say about you? No, it doesn't. But by your own logic, it would hold some weight to support that you're guilty of these things because you took a break. Again, you'll also see over and over again Nux saying this is the biggest L of his life, biggest L of his career. But then in the next breath, try to downplay
30?
everything.
Wow.
Try to downplay the impact on Taiga, claiming they didn't harm Taiga's life, that they're not responsible for X, Y.
But Shy Lily does not even know I exist. She does not care about a small-time VTuber like me. She doesn't care.
Z, but they clearly did something. Clearly. And the issue here is not taking accountability. It's like you can make as many offhand remarks 20 minutes, 48 minutes into your streams. You can make pinned comments that get nowhere near the attention of the video that contains slanderous comments initially. Those things do not add up to what feels like accountability. You could probably end this whole thing by making a 1-minute long apology.
Hello! Oh my goodness! Hello, Raiders! Hello, Kiro! Thank you so much for the raid! Hiya! How are you all doing? Hi, everybody! How was the stream? How was your stream? I hope you had a really great time. Kiro, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. God, this is like, I'm not used to raids. I'm not used to raids. This is an unusual thing for me. I have no idea how to handle raids, really. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Ember, and I'm not going to go into a big old description of me because I don't do that stuff. I just played it, near replicant. I have no idea what gear replicant is. I've never heard of that. I'm sorry. But I hope you had a great stream. I hope I'm glad it was fun. So yeah, I mean, I'm Ember. I yap a lot. I talk a lot. We react to interesting, funny, educational, and sometimes rage-inducing videos. We're actually doing that right now. We're looking at the Taiga situation. Thank you, Kiro. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I, I just, I don't know. It's just me. I just don't. Every time, this is like, I think, my third raid since I've started streaming. And I'm still not used to it when it happens. It always shocks the hell out of me anytime someone raids me. Oh, thank you, Shinies. I love doing my reactions too. Oh, did we raid you last week? I don't know. Well, yeah, we raided her. I'm not used to being on the receiving end of the raids. That's what I mean. I'm not used to it. Thank you for the follow, Shiny. I'm glad you enjoyed the Kentucky Ballistics reacts. I mean, those are fun videos to watch. I always love watching Scott. He is so great. TikTok. Oh, that's yeah. I mean, it shocked me too. So we're just well, Steve, I don't really do friend requests on Discord. Cause I don't spend a whole heck of a lot of time on Discord. I've got the Discord up for the channel, so I really don't do a whole lot of Discord stuff. But anyway, Raiders, we were looking at some of the stuff that's happening to Taiga, another VTuber, um, and basically how Nux has responded to a Taiga. So we're actually almost at the tail end of that. So we'll finish it up, and I will explain why I wanted to watch this story in the first place.
Addressing everything more directly, where you actually have an understanding of the timeline, because that's another issue. It seems like Nux has no idea, no understanding of the timeline of events
but not
involved
Hero.
with the
That's the thing. He responded, but he didn't.
Taiga,
that's the
and
thing.
just sit there
He's
and
claiming he
give an honest
apologized, but
feedback on everything that's happened. Just an honest
I know,
reaction and
BBT,
say, yeah, I messed up, and I don't need to keep going after Taiga like they are in their kick streams recently. Just say you messed that up, you should have apologized sooner and addressed it sooner and more honestly and looked into the details of everything that happened, and that's it. And I think a lot of people would accept that. Will everyone? Of course not. Some people say too little too late. But dragging this out over years is only causing
diabetes,
more issues,
have a good
not only
workout.
for Taiga, but for you too. It's not a good look. This has not been a good set of looks for you as a content creator. It is a bad experience that is reflected on you that you've never fully addressed. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. That is the update. And I honestly kind of hope the last time we're going to be talking about this, I hope things resolve themselves and Taiga gets their accounts back and Nux takes more accountability for this, but we'll just have to wait and see on all those things. But as always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
So, yeah, I mean, this is, again, Nux is not responsible for what happened to Taiga. That responsibility rests with the false reporting that was done to Taiga. 100%. Like, Nux is not responsible for Taiga being deplatformed. It's people were pissed because Nux was sort of kicking Taiga while he was down. That's why people are pissed, and the apology did not feel earnest.